What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Joy of Living with Dr. Joy. Today we have a very good topic. It's interesting. It's the therapeutic power of writing, and my guest, is an expert on that. But before we get started, you know what we do on the Joy of Living show? We take 3 deep breaths. Are you ready? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. How do you feel? I know I feel great. All right, Lena, welcome to the Joy of Living with Dr. Joy. And do I have permission to read your bio? I can share it with our viewers and our listeners.
Absolutely, please do.
Okay, Lena Payton Webb is the owner of Blu Impressions Publishing, an award-winning company specializing in self-help, custom coloring books, and journals. She is a 21-year Army veteran. Thank you for your service, Lena.
You're welcome.
She is a certified graphic designer with 30 plus years of experience and an international motivational speaker. Lena has been featured in numerous media publications and the docuseries Making of an Entrepreneur for her industry work. She empowers others to turn their expertise into profitable books. And I'm going to also share another little secret about Lena. She also just received notification that you're getting a special award by the president, right?
Yes. The 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award, Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. So I am excited about that.
Girl, I'm clapping for you. And the viewers and the listeners will be clapping too. So let's talk about the topic of the therapeutic power of writing. So my first question is, how can writing serve as a powerful tool for processing emotions and overcoming personal challenges?
So, you know what? First, Dr. Joy, thank you so much for having me on your show. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor to be here and to be able to talk to your viewers today. So, one of the things with writing, most people think that, oh, well, we think when we write for school, we write for work, but we can use writing as a form of therapy, a form of healing, a form of empowering ourselves. And the biggest thing is empowering others. So a lot of people think, well, maybe I don't have anything to write about, but we all know something, right? We've all experienced different things in life. So what other way to use what you've already learned or experienced to help somebody else, right? So the things we go through, and one of the things I often tell our clients is the things that we go through, we didn't go through that just to go through it.
That's right.
We didn't go through it just to go through it. So why not take that thing that you went through, or that thing that you learned, or that thing that you're an expert in, and share it with somebody else? And it can look like a variety of things. It does not have to be a textbook. It does not have to be a novel. It doesn't have to be a tearjerker, all the bad things that happen to us. It could be that thing to tell how you made it through that storm or that adverse period in your life. We know you went through it, or maybe you want to tell you went through it, but you don't have to dwell there, right? So I tell people that we don't want to just bleed on folks. We want to be able to tell them, yes, I experienced this, but these are the steps that I had to take to make it through that. And now that I made it through that, I can help somebody else. It is so empowering to be able to do that.
Yes. So what you just said is that even though that event happened, you experienced that event, it's really not about you. You are the vessel to help other people go through that same event or something like that, right? And help them get through and overcome their challenge. So
Yes,
you're setting
exactly.
yourself up as an example. It's not about you. You went through it, thank you. And now you're going to share it with someone else.
Yes.
So what specific writing practices are most effective in promoting mental and emotional healing?
One of the best writing practices is just jotting things down. So it could be something prompted. Maybe it's a prompted journal. Maybe it's just a brain dump. You know, just all the stuff you have in your head. You ever heard like where people say, well, if you have something that keeps you up at night, just write it down. Keep a pad and a piece of paper by your bed. I tell people, put it in your phone. You know, sometimes you're doing things, you may not have paper. Nowadays, we have technology. You could just put it in your phone. I text stuff to myself all the time. And I'm sure I am not the only one that does that.
I
But
do it.
yes, just so I can have it later on, right? So journaling, just jotting things down. And then sometimes going back and putting those things in some kind of chronicle order to do that. But you know, when it's time to put it in a book, but we'll help you with that when the time comes. So, yeah.
So do you recommend people sit in? I want you to really pull it back and share the steps. So quiet place, a candle, music. What is your suggestion?
For me, it's always aromatherapy. So I love aromatherapy. So that takes me to a happy space. Music as well, that helps. So it just depends on your vibe and what you like. So, you know, once you find that space, some people could be on their commute to work on the train. Maybe that's the time you have, the only time you have to sit quietly. But I say just start with some bullet points, 7 to 10 things, jot those down
Every
and
day,
go from there.
or when it comes to your
Every When it comes to you, but you have to make, you know, if it's gonna be for a book, then you're gonna make time for it, right? So you may take a Saturday and sit down and just write out 7 to 10 things that you want to expound upon. Start with that, right? And then go from there.
yeah, because I run into a lot of people that say, "Oh wow, you published how many books?" And I've published two on my own, and then I'm a part of one with Stephen Covey and Ken Blanchard. But they always a lot of times they're amazed at the fact that a person can put a book together, like it's a really big deal. And they would say, "Well, what were your steps?" And I said, "I wrote something down every day as it related to that book. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
come up with the title until the book was written."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
So,
there's really like no right or wrong way. It's the way that really just resonates best with you.
mhm,
We've had people write a book in 3 days, and so we have a process for that where you can get just to get it done.
girl,
Yeah,
you
so it
see
could be
my mouth
done.
is hung open. Really?
Yes, yes,
3 days?
yes.
So,
When
so
it's something that you know,
your
it's
process.
something that you know. Yeah, when it's something that you know, it's like having this conversation. So we can have this conversation. I can take it, transcribe it, and your book is done.
Okay, you see my face?
Hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna that I have other questions about that, but in your experience, how does the act of writing help individuals connect with their inner selves?
You know what? Writing is so therapeutic, and it can be not just. It doesn't have to be like, well, I'm sitting down and I got to write this paragraph or this essay, right? It could be a quote to myself. It could be a note to my child. It could be something where I'm just reflecting on the moment or the day, right?
Mhm.
And it could be as detailed as that, or something as minor as me just sending you a message. That's writing. That's still writing, right? So
So,
me expressing my emotion to you or how I'm feeling about you, that's still writing, regardless if it's on a piece of paper or if it's in an email or if it's in a text message.
yeah, but you got to put all of that stuff together. Like I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend, right? And I told her to write a book about her life, because it's pretty dramatic. And what I told her was that, this is your story, but there are people out there that are going through the same or very similar things, right? A
Right.
family dynamic is a little dysfunctional. There's a lot of people out there with that same scenario. And I just told her to start writing, but it's like she almost needs a little bit more help. So probably you and Blue Impressions can help her through that.
Yeah, yeah. So I find when people have experiences like that where it's kind of tough to get through, that's when they probably need a writing coach or a professional to help them guide through that process. Unless they can find a tool like a writing workbook to help them through that. And there are those that are out there that, possibly. But if it's something personal like that, then they definitely want to connect with somebody who can help them get through that. And then it depends on where they're at in their healing journey. Everybody can't talk about the hurt and not get stuck, right? Because it's going to re-trigger some things, right? So you got to be able to work
Yeah.
through that. Yeah.
Her issue isn't writing down the instances, Lena. Her issue is protecting the innocent.
To protect. There's a way to do that, but there's a way to do that as well. So there's a way to do it. So when we're doing life stories, so for like me, people, they don't know who Lena Payton Webb is. I know I'm phenomenal. I know I'm great. You know I'm phenomenal. You know I'm great, right? But they don't know me. So they don't want to hear my story, right? Some people don't want to hear it because they don't know who I am. But they want to know that I went through a thing and they want to know how I made it through it. So it's the way you present it. You're still going to tell your story, but it's not going to be packaged as the life of Lena Payton Webb. It's going to be 10 steps to overcoming this, this, and this. Right. So it's a way to do it without being traumatic, and it's a way to do it so that it's still appealing to the readers because they want to see the results. They want the results. They just want to know what it was and that they relate to that, and they want to know how you made it through it because they want to know how they can get through it too. So for her, that is probably more so the approach she wants to take.
So you would help. So is there a minimum page requirement to go through your process?
Well, when our process, we will make the book to be a couple things. One, that it has to deliver results, right? So it's going to tell a story, but it's going to deliver results for the reader. Mm-hmm. That's where the transformation comes in. To write a book, just to write a book to tell you all the bad things, we don't want to do that, right? We want to tell you that these things happen, but we want to tell you that there's glory on the other side, that this is what it's going to take to get to the other side. Here's some things you can do to help you get there. So the book will be all composed of all of that as well.
So how often do you journal, Lena?
I journal probably every other day, but I note to myself like all day long.
All day in your notes, on stickies, on the wall,
text messages.
Yeah. I journal every day. I think I shared that with you. A friend of mine who was a life coach, she's passed on, dear friend, challenged me 46 days before my 46th birthday. So that was a long time ago. To journal every day, write down what I'm grateful for. Just one sentence. And I've been doing it every day. The good, the bad, the ugly, the challenges, the triumphs, whatever it is. And I'll tell you, by doing that, especially if you're in a slump, if you're experiencing something that is painful, all right, serious injury, and you can't do what you're used to doing, and people, you would think that we're with you to help you through this, or kind of like, I don't have time for her. It's very hurtful. That process of journaling helped foster long-term personal growth and resilience through that issue, at least for me. So I'm thinking that it would do the same for others. So here is another question. How does Blu Impressions simplify the writing and publishing process? Because you said 3 days. I'm not going to tell you how long it took me to write my books. It was way longer than 3 days.
Yes. So we have a couple different options that we do for our clients. So one way is, like I said, we have the conversation. We find out what your book needs to look like, feel like, and what the end result needs to be for the reader, right? And then we can construct it. So we do ghost publishing as well. So we ghostwrite for you. So we can ghostwrite it. That's one thing, right? And then the other way is to get your input, meaning you're going to say, okay, well, this is what I want. These are the 7 to 10 things I want to make sure is included. And here's a little bit of feedback from me. And now you can go ahead and run with that. And we can then fill in the blanks for you with your input. So it's still yours. It's still going to be your tone, have your value, because only you have those experiences. We just know how to add the value to it so that it gives the results that we needed to give. And then 3, we work specifically with coaches, with consultants and business owners who use their books in their business to help elevate their brand, right? 1, elevate their brand and makes them the expert in their field. 2, it brings them additional streams of income, which everybody needs that in some kind of way, right? But 3, it delivers results specifically for their clients. So it's not just a book that they have just to have on the shelf. That book is really valuable by itself. and they're able to use their book as a tool in their business and in
Mhm.
different ways.
Because you said books, but then you also do workbooks as well. So is
Yes,
that
those are
separate from the storyline versus
no. So
work?
those are self-help books as well. So we do workbooks. Like this is a
Oh,
workbook
good.
of
You
one of
have an
our clients.
example.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of. So
Oh,
this is one. So she is a life coach, and so her workbook is geared towards young folks, and it has a lot of worksheets in it. But in the beginning, each chapter has a different story, a different message, and then worksheets to go with it. So there's a couple different ways we can do it. So that's one.
wow.
This one here. Okay, so this one is PTSD. So this one has,
Yes.
because PTSD has a lot of different faces and spaces, and this one was made for women in service, because that is a passion of mine, being a woman
Right.
veteran,
Right.
and someone who suffers with PTSD. So I wanted it to look like me. I wanted it to feel like me. I wanted to be able to represent me when I looked at
That's
it,
true.
right? So it does that, but it has information about PTSD, about anxiety, what it shows up as, different ways to deal with it, and then it has worksheets that they can use as well. So it has a little bit of everything, but all of them again give results. So it just depends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
started. So your covers are amazing. I
So
love
yes,
that
so
one.
this artwork is done by me. So I'm a graphic, digital artist as well, and a graphic designer, as you said. So this is the actual. It was an illustration. So it was a woman, and I took her picture and turned her into the piece of art. So when I say we use custom art, we turn you into your own
Wow.
piece of art. So yep, so that's one of the things we do.
So how long is the process? So just to tell the viewers and the listeners, what do they need to get started? How long is the process? And of course, my last question is going to be, how can they get in touch with you as we
Yeah,
wrap up in the next couple of minutes? But
yeah.
what is your process? Take me through step one.
So the process is just know what your area is, what their expertise is, what niche you want to go into. Is it finance? Is it mental health? Is it wellness? Is it where you fall in at? So one, just know where that is, because we can't determine that for you. Now we can help you. If some people have a list, right? Like I want to save the world, and I want to do this, and I want to do
You
that,
got
and
to
we can
funnel
kind of
it.
narrow that.
I got to
Yeah.
funnel it
So
down.
figure out that one thing. So once you find that one thing, just contact us, and we can handle the rest from there. We can figure out if it needs to be a self-help book, if it needs to be a custom coloring book, if it needs to be a workbook, or maybe, and we do these as well, maybe it needs to be a children's book. So it depends on your audience. So we would then figure out who your reader is, so we can make it specifically for them. So this book is a children's book. So this author, she has two children who both have autism. Both of them are different. One is verbal, one is nonverbal. So she
Okay.
wanted to start a nonprofit for her children to educate the community on autism. So we did do one book, one child, a book for one and not the other. So we had to do two. So this
Okay.
is her son and this is her daughter. So both of them she uses in her business, her nonprofit for autism, to spread awareness and to educate the community. So it really just depends on your audience. And we make the tool. This is the tool, right, to help educate them and to bring awareness. So once you figure out what you want, we can figure out the rest. We can
And
figure out
then
the rest.
okay, and then the process, what? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month?
So we can have your book done from anywhere from 30 to 90 days. 30 to 90 days, you can have it in your hand.
As long as the client is able to give you the information that you need.
Yes, yes.
Once the book is done, do you publish it on Amazon? Do you upload it on
So
Amazon and all the
we
other?
can. We
Okay.
can do that for you. If you want it there, I always say if you're gonna put it on Amazon, make sure you mark it up so you can get the, compensated
Oh, well, yeah.
fairly, right? Yes. But our recommendation for our clients is we always say the best place to sell your book is your own website. Right. So you can get all of the money that is due to you. So yeah.
Okay, so you
But
do.
we do set it up on distribution, the global distribution deal outlets for you. So like it's that Barnes and Noble, Walmart, places like that, Target. So we can do things like that as well.
So you handle the publication and the printing and fulfillment of orders.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we can do that as well.
That
Yes,
is
yes, we can
huge.
get all that set up for you.
Well, see, and that's why Blu Impressions Publishing has won so many awards, because you have a one-stop shop. So, Lena, as we wrap up, share how people can get in touch with you.
Yes. So you can get in touch with me at yourartisticexpressions.com. That is yourartisticexpressions.com. There, once you sign up, you'll get a free ebook on 5 reasons authors, coaches, and consultants should create additional streams of income with custom coloring books, workbooks, and self-help books. So go ahead to yourartisticexpressions.com and get your free ebook, and we will be in touch.
And so see, you subscribe to the Joy of Living with Dr. Joy. You hear great information from Blu Impressions Publishing. That would be Lena. And you get something else that's for free. All right, Lena, thank you so much for being a guest on
Thank
the
you for
Joy of
having
Living
me.
with Dr. Joy.
Thank you.
And I'm actually going to sign up. I'm going to go to your website and sign up later on and you know, see what happens next. And I'm going to also give that information to my girlfriend because this book,
Please do.
I've been pushing her for the last 10 years. It's time now.
Yeah. She's overdue.
She's overdue. She needs to get it out. Okay, thank you so much. Until
You're
next
welcome.
time, be blessed, stay healthy. See ya.